Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. When Allah's help and victory comes, thou see men entering the religion of Allah in companies. Celebrate the praises of thy Lord and ask for his protection. Surely he is apt returning to mercy. I'm grateful to Almighty Allah for bringing me back from my short trip to the UK. I arrived here on the faithful day morning of Thursday, 1st of December. On my arrival, I went to my hotel. I took a rest, and then I got ready. And as I promised that I was going to submit my report, which partly involved, my role as an IT person during the last election of 2015. So I was able to write a 9-page report about the shortcomings on the part of the candidates and shortcomings on the part of the party itself, with the view to make corrective action in the next coming local government and general elections, especially here in my state. So I took my report to the party headquarters in Abuja, and having done so, I also tried to establish contact with my state chairman, Right Honorable Alhaji Ubanana, and I didn't get him, but I sent him a text message which he replied. So now that I'm in Bauchi, I have requested our secretary to make an appointment so that we can formally also give him a copy, because it's only natural also we put them in form. A lot has been said, and to be quite frank and honest, I'm not at all happy with all the goings. Issues and complaints over salaries, lack of government performance, and then at the state level and also at the federal level. Some of the people are not even fit for office, but they are there. So anyway, it's not my fault. I mean, it's not my role to tell them what they have to do. That is for them. That's why that's why they were elected. Yes, nevertheless, I did campaign for them, but I didn't know that we would end up with this type of government. But the greatest effort which I did, alhamdulillah, and I'm very proud of it, is to bring an end to the near anarchy or near failed state that Nigeria was ushering into. So alhamdulillah, Allah empowered us and took away fear from us, and we confronted that type of regime. And with the help and mercy of Almighty Allah, we were able to bring the new party into government. So what now remains is for the new leaders to live up to their expectations. If they don't, people are very enlightened, and there is card reader waiting. So people like me, unless we have given, it's nearly 2 years, we are still giving the new government the benefit of the doubt that they live up to those promises. And for example, we need local government election that is deemed to be fair, to all, participant, and it's quite puzzling, 1 year or a little over 1 year, when my, good friend, Bindo, just, in Adama, he was able to, after 1 year, conduct, an all-party local government election on party basis. Here in Bauchi, we ended up, with a caretaker. The caretaker after all these years, for God's sake. When we went around campaigning to people, we told them only after 3 months we'll have a local government election. But that is history anyway. So we'll hold them accountable since, they have, there are requirements within the Constitution that allow them to do so. So we are looking forward to, a proper local government election. After the local government election, as we said we are going to do, first and foremost now, because I just arrived Bauchi on very late Friday, just on the eve of Maghrib prayer. So I will, during the week, I will visit my local farm here and then see the produce which we harvested from the last, from our farm, with a view to take them to the IDPs, that is the internally displaced persons, which we promised to do. And thereafter, we will discuss, when and where to start our journey, consultation, to all the people that we campaign for throughout the 20 local government, to see and also hear what they have to say about, whether if the politicians have lived up to expectation. And I hope and pray a time will come also whereby there would be, it would be possible for people to have, independent candidate, so that we can sponsor. Because though I registered as an APC member with the with the view to get rid of the old government, but I don't think, I'm very comfortable with the political arrangement right now, so to speak. All the parties are more or less the same. There are no ethos, there are no manifesto, there are no ideals, and I find it very difficult to really belong to such a party. Maybe if I have independent, is what we need, so that we can, help to sponsor those candidates that, we think, can be of more benefit to society. So, that being said, I'm not saying that I'm going to contest. I've already made up my mind. So there are other important issues which are global in nature, which are likely to have a resonant, effect in our life here in Nigeria and even beyond. With what is happening now all around the world, you see there's a tendency now to defy established orders. If anything to go by the recent election in the United States of America that broke, Donald Trump, and with the Brexit, as they call it in the UK, by going out of the common market. And I was just there, and I, study the politics there more than anything. UK is more home to me because I live longer there than I even live in Nigeria. I was there when I was just 18, before I was 19 years old. So the politics there, the way I'm seeing it, there is bound to be a backlash in the United Kingdom very soon. And I think the current government of Prime Minister May, she might struggle between now and April. And there's bound to be called, depending which way the vote goes. But the people who wanted to have a by-election or to have a second referendum might have an upper hand. Not because of anything, also because of the influence Scotland and Northern Ireland could have, and also within the English, and the undermining issues over mortgages, over interest rate, over the economy. That may, that may convince people to say that, look, being out of EU, after all, it's not a good thing. Well, time will tell. But in my heart of heart, I think there is bound to be a backlash, and the government will be forced to call an early snap election, which, my party, the Conservative, might win, and I doubt it if they will win. So if Labour comes, whichever party comes, there will be a problem, seriously. So we might end up even, with something that happened in America. And tonight, the 4th of December, I think people in Italy are voting election, and I think that election is likely to bring a right-wing government in Italy. And thereafter we'll have a French election, and the French election also, the party of, the right-wing, ultra-right-wing of Le Pen, she's likely, to become the next leader in France. And Germany already, Chancellor Merkel, she lost, the parliamentary majority, her party lost. And now there's one Mr. Hanks, he was the leader of the ultra-liberal from EU. He served most of his time in EU. I think he went back last couple of weeks to Germany, and is likely to enter the German politics. So, being from the left, I think, I don't know what influence he will have in the election, but he's certainly, a force to reckon with. But still, in my heart of heart, Germany also are likely to vote out, their current chancellor. So there you have it. And later on, also this year, next year, we are going to have Austrian election, and the Austrian election, as I wrote last 2 weeks in my piece, it's likely also to produce an ultra right government. So all those things, what do they have in common with our politics here in Nigeria? They have one thing, they are encouraging nationalism. So nationalism here also, I think we are likely to see the revival of nationalism. I hope and pray for the government of Buhari to, if he can do certain things, and something he must do, he need to be bold enough, I think, to bring, reshuffle to his government early January or February, and bring people of high credibility and experience, knowledge of and experience, especially in handling the economic issues of the country. So if he is able to succeed in that, and hopefully able to also, through the diversification effort to get, non-oil sectors, into economy, and then, our foreign reserve, and now with the OPEC, at least, our production, to increase our production of the oil, and then, with the steady increase of the oil price, possibly, that will help, him to meet some of his targets, so that ordinary man and woman in the street can feel the good effect of the change. Without those, I think we will be in trouble comes 2019 election. Because here in my state, unless also there is, there is a deficit of leadership here. Leaders say something because they said it over and over again. There is no trust between leaders and the public, because you tell them something and you do another thing. You promise something and they don't see it in reality. So it demeans, the whole value and ethos of leadership, and that's not what leadership is all about. So leader, you mean business. You say something, you do it. People want to see action. Leadership by example. That's what we need here. So unless they are able to bring certain changes and do it quickly, and I think some of them are living in the cuckoo land because they are planning for, 8-year term. You have a first term. Let's see what you can do within the first tenure. You have the 4 year. Bring, let us see the dividend of democracy, for God's sake. If not, I'm afraid, there are other parties, NNPC. I'm not saying I'm going to join because it's not in my character. What people like me will do, I'll just hold my arm.